Right, my lords, my ladies, welcome back to another Tekken 7 stream. I'm the Princess Knight VTuber Ragnar Avalon, and today I'm going to teach you that you are playing Tekken wrong. So if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I've been paying a lot of attention to like Street Fighter 6 discourse and so on. And what I've been seeing is people being like, "Oh, Tekken's like so hard to learn. Every character has like 2,000 moves," and it's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so let's open up King. And King has a lot of listed moves. He has 180 listed moves, right? Okay, that's a lot. But I want you to think about this. So the game doesn't tell you about King's 1-2, right? 1-2, bang, bang, there you go. It does tell you about the follow-ups. So he has 1, 2, 3 follow-ups. So 1-2 grab, 1-2 crouch grab, and 1-2-1. And then the 1-2-1 also has a grab follow-up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listed moves. These are all one move. It's just one target combo in Street Fighter terms. It's just that, each part of it is laid out for you. Hello, Ludwig. I started talking, so my cat is immediately on my table. Yeah, buddy, I don't need you in the way of my screen. Come on your mat. This happens as soon as I start talking, and my room becomes the most fascinating thing in the world for him. So, like here, for example, okay, yeah, this is one move. And then this, again, head spinner. You can see here, these both come from the same starting move. So this is really just one move, right? It's just, it has two possible enders. You can either do that or you can do this, right? One move, two enders. So think of it like that and you'll reduce the amount of effort. Oh, you're going to lie down over there on my Switch controller. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not very comfortable, is it, buddy? Come on your mat. Oh, I see. Is that cable in the way? Because I moved it because my headphones needed to charge. Here we go. On your mat. Ludwig. Ludwig, you pest. I've got to come up with like an emote that people can spam when my cat is on my desk and I'm complaining about it instead of playing the game. Come on, move. Now he's wandering around behind my screen, so hopefully he won't pull anything out. Similarly here, this is listed as being... Oh, how many moves is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves, right? But realistically, this is all just... This is a stance, and then these are the follow-ups. And like, so bad and press. This is just one move. It's just shown to you in two stages. So that like, there's the stance, there's the Sobat, there's the Sobat and press. So these aren't, this isn't three different moves. It's just one stance, and then it's one of its follow-ups. And you can see this if we keep around here, like we have, this high kick, or you can do it like this and get a mid kick. Similarly here, you have elbow impact, or you can do a different ending. So this forward two, basically one move, right? So you can do this, or you can do this. Or you can do my personal favorite, which is to do this. Because I've noticed that if you do this, people stand up and block because they don't... Oh, that was the wrong thing. They don't get caught by this. So they're like, oh, I better stand up and block that, and then you just throw them. Because this move is +2, so if they jab, you beat them. Similarly, like, this is one move, it's just, like, split into two in case you miss the just frame. Like, this is one move, it's just you can charge it. It's like, there's a lot less of... Tekken characters have a lot fewer moves than people think they do. It's just that the move list lays it out, like, really comprehensively how everything can go together. So here, for example, you have Minsa and then you have Minsa low. And like these are basically the same move. It's just one has a mid-ender and one has a low-ender. Like this is the same move. It's just, it alerts you that it has a special property on counter hit. So normally stagger kicks is like this. You end up +7 if all of them somehow hit. If it's on a counter hit, you get 2 extra hits and a +15. which also, yeah. So, like, it's just the game being helpful, basically. And similarly, like, you know, you have this quick uppercut, so this is your I-12 Punisher, and then you can either do this, which is a high-ender, or this, which is a mid-ender. Same here, you know, you have Chupacabra, and then it has 3 follow-ups. You can do this, spinning back elbow. You can do this, which now becomes an attack throw, or you can do this, which is, like, extremely plus on guard, because it's, okay, yeah, it's +2 on guard, and they end up in, like, crouching guard frames. Similarly, another tactic, I'm actually going to switch characters real quick. And does that launch on a... Yeah. So most characters, their down forward 2 or their down forward 1, depending on the character, will be this kind of uppercut. And a lot of them will either straight up launch or they will launch on a counter hit, like this one does. So you don't necessarily need to look at everyone's moveset, because for a lot of characters, they have the generic options, right? Like for, not for Jin, ironically, but a lot of characters will have this move, which is affectionately known as a dick jab. You can do this, for example. For a lot of characters, like King, for example. I'll swap back real quick. King. It's down here because I know what the alphabet looks like. You can do down 1 and you instantly go into the crouching dick jab instead of having to crouch and then do it. That's true for a lot of characters. It's an important button for a lot of characters. It's not like a special move that's listed there, but it's something that almost every character has in some way. Similarly, most characters, up forward 4 will launch, and most characters will have this, where if you hop and press 4, you'll get this launch. It's not true for every character, but it's true for most of them. So you have this, like, stable of moves that you can fall back on. Similarly, let's go to a slightly, I'll go back to Jin because he has a lot of this kind of, like, same string, different ender type thing, and also he doesn't dance around and annoy me during the, while he's idle. So if we go to his move list, you can see here, right, he has this one too, and then you can either do this mid-hitting axe kick, or you can do this spinning move. He has this, which I'm really bad at for some reason. So this is actually, this input is actually the start of a bunch of moves. So you do 1, 3, and then you can do just that, or you can do this full combo, or you can hold backwards afterwards, and you do this little hop back, which you can even do on block, which is -6, so it's safe. It's safe up close as well, but you can step back, and if they try to do something, they're now in range for most of Jin's counter hitting moves, like this, which if it lands on counter hit, you get this awesome, like, stagger, or you're all the way back here, so you can do this and back up even further, or you can, you know, do this and step forward. And then you also have this alternative option where you do this feint kick combo, and you don't have to do the last hit either, you can just do this bit. And you can hit confirm that last bit all the way to the end, so if they block it, you can not do it. In fact, is that even safer on block? Yeah, no, so you can do this, and you don't have to do the follow-up if they block it. But if they, like, step, then you can potentially catch them with it. I mean, this move is not great, I don't think, but it's there. Or you can start with this and then go low. Right? So this is all basically, like, from here to here. This is basically one move. It's just how you use it and which ender you go into after doing the 1, 3. Similarly, you have the same thing here, where you have 2, 1, and then you can either do 2, 1 high or 2, 1 low. And this is also really important for characters like... Where is he? Are they all at the bottom in this? Yes, okay, all the DLC stuff's at the bottom. So Fakuram has these slide input mix-up combos that he does. But the thing is that he has a lot of moves that like get him into doing them. So for example, here for example, after 1 2 4. So like that's the default, but you can also do like the slide input. You can do this, you can charge it. And similarly, like this is the same ender. So like you may as well think of it as these moves putting him into a state where he can do these enders. And like his list is full of it. And so yeah, like here, for example, he has this alternate version, which is Tornado Kick and Night Thunder. This version is Twisting Back Fist and Erupting Knee again. These ones are Tornado Kick and Night Thunder. Then he also has Faint Strike, Barbaric Blow, Ramasara. But those are more unique. In fact, I think that's the only... Yeah. So these ones aren't... These ones off down forward 1, these are more unique because they don't, like, you don't transition into them from other moves. But most of his other moves, like this one, for example, a lot of his moves that like his strings that have a 4 as their second button, you can go into his slide input mix up. So it's not like, oh, you know, he has so many moves. It's like, no, after you do this move, in fact, it's almost any of his moves that have a 4 in them that aren't like the literal end of the combo. You can do like that follow-up, and almost any that have a 2 in them, you can do the, what is it, Thunder, Tornado Kick, Night Thunder. And then you have this one with a 4 where it's Back Fist, Interrupting Knee. Like, you can do these after almost any move in his list where it's either like a 4 and it's not the end of the string, or it's a 2 and it's not the end of the string. So even though these are listed like repeatedly, you can basically think of them as being like a special move cancel. So it's not like, oh, you know, Fakaram has fucking 99 moves or whatever. So first of all, I mean, he does have 3 rage drives, which is pretty crazy, but I think, are these the same? Hold on. I mean, these are the same move, you just do them from a different kick. This one's unique though. And then if you go down to this, and I mean, some of this is for stuff that is not unique to him. Some of it is like named generic moves. Like this, for example, Gale Force, pretty much every character, I did it wrong. 1 2 3. Pretty much every character has this kind of like 1 2 3 forward, forward, forward 3 input. And it's, you know, this flying kick that's usually pretty safe on block. I mean, it can range from safe to insanely plus depending on the character. It's just every character has like a name for it. And similarly, pretty much every character has a 10-hit combo, but you don't normally use them. I think maybe King is the only character who will get much mileage out of his. Hey, Malone. Who will get much mileage out of his. Similarly, you know, throws, it's like, well, these are literally the same throw. It's just, it's the difference between this, which is 12 frames, and this, which is 15 frames, but it's the same throw, right? And to all intents and purposes, these are identical. The 1 3 and 2 4 throws. The important difference is that the 2 4 throw switches sides, which is true for every character. Then these are all the same, basically. It's just which side did you approach from. The results may be different depending on the character, but for most characters, it doesn't matter. So, like, for example, I don't actually know Fark very well, so this is good. Yep, they land face up there. Oh, okay, and in this case, it's literally just his 2 4 throws, so you need to know that if you, like, approach... Oh yeah, in fact, it's true for both these. So these do more damage, but they have the same animation, and they have the same Oki. And then there's Checkmate, which is the back throw, and it's like, well, you don't have to worry about it too much because, you know, it's what there is. You're at +3 when they get up. You know? And, you know, maybe they have something down here and it's like, oh, you know, this is a command throw. Or actually, Fox is pretty cool now that I think about it. It's like, yeah, you know, you have this command throw that does 40 damage. Like, lots of characters have those. You have this parry. But the actual amount of moves that you need to worry about is not that high. Like, are you ever going to use this taunt in gameplay unless you're Fang? And it's only relevant for Fang because his taunt can be cancelled anytime. So, like, you don't need to worry about, oh, there's so many moves in this game. It's like, no, there's not. It's just that the move list, like, wants you to see every single iteration. It's not just like, oh, after this move, you know, do this, and then it tells you on a different tab. Like, what was I playing that does that? I want to say Mortal Kombat 11, but I think that's wrong. Ah, oh no, it was something that I was playing recently, and it was like, if the character had like a I don't know, it's Tekken. It is actually Tekken, right? Because check this out. I forgot Tekken does this as well. It's really annoying. So what the game will do is it's like during the main move list, it tells you every way that you can get into a stance, except when it doesn't. Looking at you, Law. So you look at this one where it's like, yeah, this, you know, to cat on, whatever that means. So, you know, if you have a look, you can see. Oh, okay, cool. But then the actual stance for cat on is down here. It's a long way back here. Yeah, during cat on. And then there's all of this stuff during cat on. For characters with specific stances, they'll do this. So it's just like, oh, you know, this is how you get into it. And then, you know, the follow-ups are later. I actually prefer how they do it with Fox more, where it's like, you know, after this move, you can always do these two things, but it shows you in the move list, which I really like. But yeah, like, don't worry about how many moves there are. It's not as many as it seems. Similarly, if we look at, if we go back to King, and King is like a common target of this, because, you know, he has an insane amount of moves listed on his move list. But if we go and look at them, first of all, these are chain throws, right? Or these are chain throws. So let's start, first of all, let's have a look around. These ground throws, these are these are technically different, but realistically, it doesn't actually matter because the point is like you're just getting a ground throw and then you just see what Oki you have. For things that aren't turnover, you can mostly think of them as being the same at a beginning level, and it's just like, oh, my opponent's on the ground and I'm plus, and I'm just going to ground throw them, right? Similarly, this only matters for advanced stuff. It's like just, you know, do whichever. And also there is some knowledge involved, like this Mexican Magma Drive 1. As King, you never do this. Like, you can just ignore it. You can completely ignore it. This is for Armor King. You only care about Mexican Magma Drive 2. Now, the main thing about this is that, like, this has alternate inputs which do change the escape button, but realistically, most people will always do it the same way. And so, like, for me, for example, if you play me and I catch you in a chain throw, I almost always do the version that can be broken with 1 because I'm not very good at the game, so like doing complicated inputs. So I have to just like muscle memory in like one specific version of it. And it's like, oh, this is a lot of moves. It's like, well, really, it's one move, right? Because all of this. So you land Cobra Clutch out of Jaguar Stab, and then you're going to Screwdriver. Like that. That's the end of it. So you can think of all the inputs in the intervening space as like everything that you have to input to get the Screwdriver. Which is a lot, but it's not as hard as it sounds. I wonder if I can do that just from muscle memory, because it's been a while. No, I did the wrong input. It's been far too long. No. Okay, yeah, it's been way too long. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing the wrong Cobra twist input. Yeah, it's that, and then you do... No? Okay, you can tell that I haven't practiced this way. But the point is, like, you're going a screwdriver, right? And, I mean, it's kind of sick, because, you know, you do this entire input. Okay. But you also have a couple of options. So after this, you can do, after reverse special stretch bomb, you can do Samurai Rock. This instantly ends the chain throw, but it gives you like a bit more damage than you would expect for that point in the chain throw. And then Sol Naciente is unbreakable and does a significant amount of damage. So these are actually just alternate enders to this one like huge string of inputs, which is you could sort of think of this as being like a deadly rave input. Um, that's kind of how I got used to it. You can tell that I haven't practiced for ages because I've been playing, you know, Street Fighter 6 and so on. What is it after that? You can do one, two. Yeah, that, and then... Oh, I did Samurai Lock by accident. See, that does 69 damage. If you do Sol Naciente, it's like... How much actually is it? It's a lot. And Sol Naciente isn't breakable. I obviously need to practice if I'm going to play much more Tekken. I've been playing other stuff. So as far as I know, this is not breakable, and it does 103, which is not significantly less than Screwdriver. So, like, you can think of it as one big deadly rave, or you can learn it as, like, one combo, or like, you can do it in, like, practice it in sequence, which is what I did. I was just like, let's just do this until I never mess it up, and then we'll do this, and then we do this, and then we do this, and so on. Similarly, you have, after reverse special stretch bomb and reverse arm slam, you can actually do the same inputs to get the throw, because reverse arm slam does not have strict input. So because you do, the only exception is Cannonball Buster versus Backdrop, where you need to do 2, 2, 1 plus 2 instead of 2, 1, 1 plus 2. But after that, you can do the Manhattan Drop, Victory Bomb, Muscle Buster inputs, and you'll get them. And similarly, it ends with your choice of Giant Swing or Muscle Buster. So it's not that complicated. These ones, similarly, it's like, oh, you know, you land standing heel hold, and then you have 3 options. You can either gamble and go for King's Bridge, which does tons of damage, but they have 2 options to break it. Or you can do STF or Scorpion Deathlock, which do more damage than you in Deathlock, but less than King's Bridge. And your opponent only gets 1 chance to break it. So, like, this is one move. Don't let it fake you out and be like, oh no, it's 5 moves. It's like, no, it's 1 move. Okay? I've seen people on Twitter being like, oh, but actually, you know what, I'll find an actual tweet and read it out. Where's my scrub quotes? Scrub quotes. There we go. Because what prompted this was seeing the discourse around that, right? Yeah, hold on, I can just look for one of my replies. Yeah. Here you go. So this is a response to someone in a scrub quote being like, Tekken is better than Street Fighter. And this guy's replied saying, him saying Tekken is better than Street Fighter in terms of getting good easily is a lie. All Tekken characters have more moves in their move list than all Street Fighter characters combined. It would take more hours to learn to do long combos in Tekken than in Street Fighter 6. It doesn't. Um, it super doesn't. Um, But, like, I've seen this a lot, so that's kind of what prompted this idea. And I'll tell you something cheeky. Uh, you can just use the sample combos. Like, there are better combos, but this is a great way to get started. And these are a lot more usable than, for example, the combo trials in Street Fighter 6 are in a real game. A lot of them are like, oh yeah, just do this like one frame link micro walk. It's like, maybe I won't try that in a real combo, in a like a real game. I'll just do something that I won't drop. Like, because I'd rather have like less damage, but all of it than maybe more damage, but I'll probably drop it, right? It's like, this kind of thing. This is your like really easy bake like king combos. So you do like this, bang, bang, bang. Oh, and of course I did it wrong because it's been forever. Super simple. Like, this is not a difficult combo, but you can do this combo every single time you land this move, and like you will land this move if you're looking for it. So like just do this every time you land it, or like you land this on counter hit, you do while rising 2-2, and then you just do this. 65 damage, right? You've taken just like a third of your opponent's health in that one move. It's like, that's enough. And that combo is easy, right? So you do this looking for a counter hit, and if you get it, you literally just mash 2, and then you just do Shining Wizard or Running Jaguar Bomb, which is easy. You literally just press forward 3 times quickly, and your, throw buttons. It's that simple. And you will win games if you keep doing this, right? Like, you just land the move, and then you're going to win games. Or you can do this, for example. If every time you land king up forward 4, you do 1 + 2 3, and then you do Run Jaguar Bomb, you're going to win the game if you land those up forward 4s. You don't, like, just be smart and be like, oh, they're doing this. I can up forward for it. And it's like, oh, and here's my follow-up combo, right? So don't be like, oh, but it takes forever to learn like really complicated combos. It's like, no, it doesn't. And you can ignore 10 strings. Kings is actually a bit of an exception. His does have some merit because you can really catch people out with this version of it, so this one, first of all, his other one, which is 1-2-1-1-2. This is +1 on hit, and I think it's safe on block. Yeah, it's -10 on block, so it's safe. This jails into the whole string. It does a reasonable amount of damage. You can do 1-2, and then you can confirm it. So it's quite good. This version, his 10 combo 2, actually has some jankiness to it, so that last hit looks like a mid, but it's actually a low. And if it lands, this attack throw is unavoidable, and it does a fair bit of damage. You are very prone to getting low parried if you do this with the universal low parry, but you can slide that one in there and be a bit cheeky about it. I only recommend that if you either want to BM your opponent or you think you'll like actually get it, like get them to get hit by it. It does catch people by surprise, so like you can use it that way. But similarly, there's plenty of moves on a lot of characters' lists where it's like, maybe I'll only use this every once in a blue moon, or I can use this, but I should be careful with it, or maybe I have moves that are better than this, so I won't worry about it. And you can definitely like go through the move list and be like, okay, this move, I understand how it works immediately. And so, either I know how to use it or like I have an idea of what it's doing. And then you might come to one and it's like, well, what do I even do with this? And it's really simple. You can just not use it, right? While you learn. And then it's like, oh, I see what this move is for now. And then you can include it and you don't have to worry about it. Like, okay, Shadow Lariat versus Jaguar Lariat is one of the most interesting things that King can do. So Shadow Lariat is this really long range lariat. you can get people whose moves should be unpunishable, or people like, oh, this move is safe because of pushback. And then King is just like, nah. Especially if they are like, decide to press buttons. I mean, it is 22 frame startup, which is kind of rough, so it's like, it's I-22, but, your opponent does something that's, minus 15 or something and has pushback, you can just do this. And often you'll catch them because they'll think, okay, there's no way I'm going to get punished because I pushed all the way back. Or you end up in, if you're up close, you can do this, and it's unblockable. It's a 29 frame unblockable. That's pretty fast. It also, like, King starts this moving forward ability, like movement, and it can catch people out. But when you're starting out, both of these are kind of like, don't they seem a bit hard to use? And yeah, they are, so just don't worry about it. Similarly, rolling Sobat. Let me set him to stand guard. This is safe, but it doesn't look like it. And so you can hold it and just only use it when your opponent is doing like a sidestep and you're like, aha, I can catch you with this. Right? You don't need to have like every single move ready to go right now. The reality is that most people will not use the character's whole move list. And quite often that's simply because a lot of characters' moves are things that are more niche than you might expect. So for example, you don't often see capital punishment, this move, getting used. You do see Burning Knuckle get used because this is used as like a ender in certain situations where it can become guaranteed. Thoughts of Himself, who does a lot of like Lab Monkey stuff, has really, really good guides about doing stuff like this, where you can do like really cheeky Oki setups. Similarly, Layoff, for example, this move has its merits. Like it's, if you land it on a, what am I doing? If you land this on a counter hit, you're plus 18, so you can get all kinds of insane follow-ups. But it takes a lot of work to actually get used to it. It is safe to just keep doing it though, because it's your plus 7, so if they do anything, you'll probably get it. But, it is complicated to use. You don't have to use it. Like, when you're just learning the character, it's really... My recommendation would be pick some really simple, safe, like, stable moves that you can reliably do and that can potentially lead into a combo. So anything in the sample combo setup is a good place to start. So like this on counter hit, this on counter hit, forward 4 on any hit, while crouching, down forward 2 is pretty solid because it's... What are you on? I'm really bad at this move, by the way. What are you on block? Because I don't think you're launch punishable. Oh, you are. Okay, it's minus 14. Maybe be careful throwing that one out. But you start out from crouch, so it can go under a lot of moves. Like, do that, find a really simple combo, and just do that until you feel like adding more to it, and then, add more to it, and get along that way. Yeah, that's it. That's everything I wanted to say. I'm gonna try and get into Simulated Universe and chill later tonight, but if you don't see that, then I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. I hope this helped you out if you were scared about getting into Tekken, with Tekken 8 being not so far on the horizon.